boxing world, JF Sports. Andre Berto said that he believes he'll be Floyd Mayweather's toughest fight. He said his speed and power can do it all. He said a guy like Floyd feasts on a guy that moves straight up and down. He said he has the athletic ability. Comes fight night, it's going to be great. He's just going to do him, and he can get the job done. Now, a lot of people doubt Andre Berto will be the first one to ever beat Floyd Mayweather. And you guys know that. Now, a lot of people also are not a true fan of the Mayweather-Berto fight. Why? Well, few reasons. Berto has lost 3 of his last 6 fights. He's lost most to opponents Mayweather already beaten. That's Victor Ortiz, Robert Guerrero, which some say Mayweather beat those guys easy. Now, Andre Berto doesn't think that he should be criticized and judged based on his last performance. He said that the fans can think that he is undeserving all they want. But he's stepping up in there come September the 12th. He said the thing with these critics is that you're only as good as your last performance. And I was good enough 2 or 3 fights. Victor Ortiz was good enough when he beat me. Robert Guerrero was also good enough when he beat me. But he's initiating that was not truly Berto. Berto has much more ability than how he performed against those 2 opponents. Yes, the pay-per-view numbers sucks. The tickets has also not been sold yet, and we are less than 10 days away from the fight. But lately on Andre Berto's interviews, he's been very, very confident that he'll be the one to beat Mayweather. Now, whether that's true or false, that's one's opinion. Now, a lot of people say that it's not necessary that Andre Berto don't have a chance. It's just that Andre Berto has a very slim chance of beating Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather picked Andre Berto to be his last opponent, so to speak, before retirement for numerous reasons, which Floyd Mayweather Jr. doesn't really say. Only thing he's ever mentioned is that he picked Berto because he is the best contender. That Mayweather thinks that Berto is going to push Mayweather to his limits. A lot of people, especially the boxing world, the boxing fans around the world, are very skeptical of that. That's why not too many people are buying tickets. Now, would people watch the fight come September the 12th? Yes, of course. Now, will they pay for the pay-per-view? That's a different story. Some people may stream, some people may watch it in the neighbors for free. So, for one pay-per-view buy, you're talking about maybe 10, 20 people watching it versus them actually going to the fight and paying for the fight. So, that's why the tickets are so low. Sales status, that is. Now, if you guys know, the Mayweather-Berto fight is also going to be in the movie theaters because that's how much they need this fight to sell. The fact that Mayweather says over and over that nobody is being forced to watch this fight doesn't necessarily help to build the fight, to boost the fight. to boost the pay-per-view numbers and ticket sales. Well, whether Andre Berto beats Mayweather or not doesn't really matter. Does it? Because if for number of reasons and for some miraculous thing happened that Andre Berto happened to beat Floyd Mayweather, then cool. People will say, all right, Mayweather's finally been beaten. He's 48-1. What does that really mean? I mean, it's not going to make people jump out of their seats and start clapping and hollering. No, just another guy. So what or how do they really expect this fight, Mayweather-Berto, to really sell, to really be popular come September the 12th? We don't know. Why the pay-per-view numbers is probably not going to sell as much as other Mayweather's fights. Not to talk about the numbers that came out of the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. The fight against Berto is not going to be nowhere near that. They're trying to make the most money out of Berto fight. But when Mayweather picked Berto, he knew, or at least a lot of people say he knew, that the number wasn't going to be great. But it's going to secure him 49-0. So, with that said, I guess Floyd Mayweather cares more about the record breaking rather than the pay-per-view numbers and ticket sales. See, there's always twist to the game. There's always politics behind it. There's math and science of why Mayweather picked Berto. And some say, actually, it wasn't only Mayweather that made the decision of why Berto is the next opponent. Some say Showtime's involved. Some say Nevada Commission is involved. Who knows? Also, if you guys know, Kenny Bayless is the one that is going to referee the Mayweather-Berto fight. And some say that's an advantage to Mayweather. So, in all honesty, the fight against Berto, it's all for and already secured for Floyd Mayweather. The only time and the only reason why Berto would win this fight is if Berto actually knocks out Mayweather. A lot of people saying that if the fight goes to the decision, regardless if it was competitive, exciting, or close, the decision and the scorecards will always for Floyd Mayweather. To beat Mayweather, especially from Berto, he'll have to knock him out. That's the only way. There's no ifs and buts about it. He can knock down Mayweather a few times, as some say, but if it goes to the decision, Mayweather will get it. And as usual, unanimous decision. Now, a lot of people, especially the Floyd Mayweather fans, are saying that they want to see something new, something exciting, especially for the last fight. What do they mean by that? Well, that's simple. They actually want to see Mayweather prove once and for all that he is an exciting fighter. Forget the chess match. Forget being defensive. Once and for all, give your fans, Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s fans, an exciting fight. Because if that happens, because if Floyd Mayweather Jr. actually goes toe-to-toe with Andre Berto and actually knocks him down and knocks him out potentially, then all the critics, all the criticisms about Mayweather not being an exciting fighter goes away. So the fans are hoping that Mayweather would actually knock out Andre Berto and knock him down, or better yet, goes toe-to-toe. What are the odds of that happening? Do you think Floyd Mayweather Jr. would change his style that has been working for him for over a decade just to give back to his fans or something in that nature, like an exciting fight? Sort of give back to the community because they gave me so much money. But that comes with risk. If Floyd Mayweather Jr. happens to go toe-to-toe with Andre Berto, he opens himself to great danger. Because Berto, even though this guy got 3 losses of his last 6 fights, he can punch. Anybody has chance on any given day. Just like Mayweather said, it's any given Saturday. Now, I guess the fans once and for all for Floyd Mayweather to go back when he fought Gotti. When he was explosive, actually offensive fighter rather than defensive. That's all people are asking. And with that, he could potentially get another fight towards 50-0. And if he does go toe-to-toe with Berto and knocks him out, that 50th fight would be close sales to Mayweather-Pacquiao, regardless of who he fights. Because people would think, oh, Mayweather changed his style now. He's back to his old ways. Not the defensive fighter, not the one that runs around. He actually is going toe-to-toe and try to knock out his opponents, rather than pot-shotting them all the way to 12 rounds. So, the pressure, yes, it is on Berto, but I say it's 50-50. 50% on Berto because fans want to see Mayweather lose. And Berto want to boost up his resume. I mean, it hasn't been long since Berto was not really a known opponent. Now that all of a sudden his name is being mentioned next to Mayweather, everybody knows him now. Everybody. Whether he was not such a good fighter, whether he had brutal losses, it doesn't matter. He's famous. But what we don't want Berto to be is infamous, to be the last guy that Floyd Mayweather beat towards a breaking record. So I say 50% to Floyd Mayweather, also because regardless of what his fans, Floyd Mayweather Jr. fans says, they want to see Floyd Mayweather be an exciting fighter. They want to see him go toe-to-toe. They want to see him knock out Berto. I mean, for Christ's sake, it's Berto. It's not Manny Pacquiao. It's not Miguel Cotto. It's not De La Hoya. It's Andre Berto. He could easily, if he said he's the best, if he says he's TBE until the day he dies, then Berto, as an opponent, Mayweather should be able to at least knock down, or better yet, knock out. The fight against Berto, people wants to see. They don't want to see it go all 12 rounds. They don't want a unanimous decision. I mean, you guys can go on social medias, on interviews, ask almost every fan. They want this fight against Berto to be memorable, to not go all 12 rounds in the same unanimous decision. But what are the likeness of that? What exactly are the likeliness of Mayweather knocking out Berto and actually stopping the fight before it hits 12 rounds and going to the scorecards? That's the pressure that Floyd Mayweather has. He said he's been sparring and training harder for the Andre Berto fight compared to the Pacquiao fight. So that means something, right? That means that he's actually going to do better against Berto rather than what he did to Pacquiao. A lot of people said that he made Pacquiao look easy work. But if it was such an easy work, it shouldn't have gone 12 rounds. it shouldn't be unanimous decision. It should be a knockout. But he said lately, that's what he said. He said he's training harder now than if it was with Pacquiao. So we should see a knockout, right? This fight against Berto should not go all 12 rounds, vice versa. Berto, as much as he's so confident and talks all this crap, he should be able to back it up. The fight should not go all 12 rounds on his behalf. That's vice versa. Like I said, Mayweather, like he said, he's the best ever, and he's training harder than he usually does. Then it should not be a unanimous decision. It should be a knockout. That gives him more opportunities as he retires and come back later. People are going to want to watch him. I mean, think about it. If Mayweather retires, winning against Berto at 49-0 via unanimous decision, again, 12 rounds, then what makes him think that people are going to want to support him again when he comes back, if he does retire? It's going to be the same. It's going to be the same ever and ever, forever. Until the day he dies, it's going to be the same fighter. The only thing to change that is to actually knock out Berto. That's it. There's no really other way to say it. But he's got to make it exciting to where he actually goes toe-to-toe and knock out Berto. Stop being an offensive fighter rather than defensive. That's why people are shitting on this fight. And the ticket sales are shit. And the pay-per-view numbers, it ain't gonna be no 2 million pay-per-view buys. Miraculously, it hit 1 million buys. And for almost $80 HD, it's kind of tough to cough up that money for a Berto fight. What we don't want to see is Berto does worse than the Manny Pacquiao fight. Because many Floyd Mayweather fans, I mean almost 100% of Mayweather fans, criticize Pacquiao for having the shoulder injury, excuse shoulder injury, whatever. But yet, Manny Pacquiao was not knocked out. They said it was easy work. Okay. Then the fight shouldn't be similar to that fight. The Berto fight should not be similar to that fight, since Pacquiao was so easy work. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see if Mayweather actually try to knock out Berto. We'll see if this fight actually does not go all 12 rounds unanimous decision, as everybody is used to. And also that's for Berto. Berto needs to knock out Mayweather in order to win. He's not going to win via unanimous decision. That's not going to happen. If the fight goes to scorecard, it'll go to Mayweather. It's protected by the commission. It's protected by Vegas. The sooner Mayweather loses that the sooner the freaking commission and the Vegas loses money. So they're going to prevent that from happening. And the only time they cannot cheat that or change the outcome of the scorecards is when or if Andre Berto actually knocks out Mayweather cold or knocks him down and could not beat the count. That's it. There's no other way to look at it. For Berto to win, he's gonna have to KO, TKO, stoppage, whatever you want to call it, and not go all 12 rounds. That's the only way Berto's gonna win this fight. And like he said, we're gonna see some change. He's gonna shock the world. His speed and athleticism is going to show up come September the 12th. Well, we shall see. Until then, and until next time, thanks for watching JF Sports.